welcome to episode 74 of the Falls on a Hill podcast, where we bring you the latest news and our expert opinion on the newest releases in the world of music. I'm Cal, and I'm joined by Yanni and Liam for what feels like the first time in bloody ages. How are we, boys?
It's been too long.
Hola, amigos.
Oh,
Buenos noches.
dos cervezas, por favor.
Down.
See,
Donde está la biblioteca? They're the only two I know.
I'm great. It feels good to be back, boys.
It does, doesn't it?
Feels good to be back.
Incredible.
Not at
yeah.
9 o'clock at night, but it feels good to be
Yeah,
back.
it's, could be better, but yeah. What have we done in our time away? Liam, I'll come to you second because I don't care. Yanni.
All right.
I do really, but you've got the better story. I
No.
assume.
I have not done a lot. I've been watching TV shows.
Ooh.
On recommendation, it was on my list, but to be honest, I put it on the back burner. So a good friend of mine suggested put it on your front burners, and that's exactly what I did. And I watched Severance
Oh, this is not what I
And-
watched.
by Five Gun. It is fantastic.
So good, isn't it? We haven't
It
talked
is.
about it yet, have we, Yanni? You and I.
We haven't, but it's one of the best pieces of TV I've ever
Yeah.
seen in my life.
Really is. It's so good.
Could I have a quick synopsis?
Impossible.
It kind of is impossible, yeah. But basically, if I can sum it up, it's people's memories are split. So when they go into work, they have their own set of memories for just work,
Mm-hmm.
and then when they come out of work, it's normal.
Oh.
Everything else is happening. That's it. That's what you're gonna get.
Sounds pretty cool.
I'm thinking
you
about the fact
should
that
definitely watch
they're almost two separate lives.
Okay, cool. Well, I will add that to my list.
It's
Liam,
definitely worth watching.
before you tell me what you've done in your week, what TV show
Mhm.
have you recently finished?
Euphoria. I've watched Euphoria.
Ooh.
That's euphoric.
Yeah, I was euphoric the whole time. In many ways. Yeah, that's a.
Sydney Sweeney have
really
anything
good-
to do with that?
I mean, she
No,
was
he was
certainly
just
involved.
high the whole time.
Do you know what? She's a
On drugs.
fantastic actress.
She is.
Fantastic.
That's
The second season, especially when she's really going insane, she is so good. They all are, to be honest. Zendaya's fantastic. Fuck Nate Jacobs. What a prick.
Jacob
Yeah.
Elordi.
Never hated anyone so much in my entire life.
Yeah, he is. an
From like
absolute
literally the
cunt,
first episode, I hated his cut. And I thought,
Yeah.
they better not make him good. And they did, well, spoilers, they didn't. And I'm glad
No,
about that.
isn't he? Really don't.
One thing I absolutely loved about Euphoria was that they didn't make the musical episode abysmal. The musical
Yeah,
episode,
it was very good.
arguably
Mm.
one of the best. That
very
was so
quite
good.
hard to keep track of.
Yep.
Where like what was real, what was not. I mean, the whole show, to be fair, is a little bit like that, where it kind of jumps back and forth. But it was very well
Mm.
done, and the whole when they're singing, when Ethan's pretending to be Nate Jacobs, and all
What,
of
in,
the,
like, the
Ethan
locker
was
room?
in
fantastic.
the locker room. Yeah, unbelievable.
Fantastic.
I really wish Ethan had a better story than he did. Not a fan of
Yeah.
Kat.
Yeah,
whatsoever.
though their sort of storyline gets pushed to the side in season 2.
It just doesn't seem. It just seems pointless almost. Yeah.
There is background reasons why that
I've
apparently
read,
is
read a little bit.
happened.
Oh,
But yeah.
But that scene in the locker rooms, it's just brilliant. And it goes on
Fantastic.
for too long, but it's the right length of time. Like, it just didn't need to go on for the whole song, but I'm glad it did.
You also watched the two special, well, like
Yes.
middle things, didn't you?
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah, they were good. Very good, like, acting and stuff and writing,
Yeah.
but they were both a bit long.
Bit long, weren't they?
I liked that it was
Mm,
kind of like
uh,
one whole scene, one of the episodes. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was,
Ollie is one of the coolest people.
yeah,
ever.
Mark,
What a cool guy.
100%.
definitely.
Yeah.
And because you all asked, I have been
Oh.
watching Only Murders in the Building. Disney Plus.
That's the Selena Gomez thing.
It is. Oh my god,
And,
it's very good.
Really?
Very good.
It does not look like it'll be heard in the
It
slightest.
is really good. It's a
what's the
perfect.
fella's name? What's
Um,
his name?
I
Martin
can't
Short?
remember. Martin Short is
No,
one.
it's Martin.
And the other one,
Isn't the other one? Yeah, Martin.
I can't remember what he's called.
Steve Martin.
Steve Martin.
Is it
But
him?
yeah, it's a perfect blend of comedy
don't know
and
who it is.
murder mystery. So it's very good. Really good
Okay.
writing. So I recommend
Um,
that.
I feel like I've watched something else as well recently, but I can't put my finger
I
on it. 'cause
watched
this is
The
interesting.
Bear on holiday as well. That's really good.
The Bear on Holiday.
it's
What's that film about?
The Bear on Holiday. No, it's called The Bear. And
The
I was
Bear.
on holiday. Spoilers for the
Where did you go
Well,
on
don't-
holiday?
Don't ruin it, Liam.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I did say it last time we did an episode. I went to Tenerife.
You said it
I
like
love
that as
Is
well.
that different to Tenerife?
Tenerife. Pretty sure that's how it's pronounced by the locals. I like to get in with the locals.
How is it?
Um,
How is it pronounced by a Welsh wool?
I wouldn't know.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't know. I had a great time. I got thoroughly burnt on the second day, as in actual physical skin burn. So that tainted the holiday significantly. But went to Siam Park, which was really good. Water park, went there twice. Went and saw some whales, some pilot whales, on like a ship that was made to look like a Viking ship, and everyone was dressed as Vikings and did like
That's sick.
Viking stuff, which was pretty cool. And other than that, just chilled, just chillaxed. Watched a lot of TV, as I've mentioned.
Did you do the usual thing when you're on holiday or go in the sun of not putting sun cream on until you get absolutely
You
scorched and then put
fucking
sun
idiot.
cream on?
No, I did actually put sun cream on. But
You should wear sun
I
cream
put-
all the time to prevent cancer.
the issue I had was I forgot to put it on my back. But
That's
that
quite a
didn't.
big part of you, that, mate.
It didn't matter. So my back burned, but not that bad. The worst part was
Back
my
burner.
shoulders, and I did put sun cream on my shoulders. So I don't know. Maybe it wasn't waterproof enough, and I went in the water, and I don't know. Who knows? But I
You're a
survived.
wet boy.
And I got prickly heat as well, which is a heat thing as opposed to sun, which was very uncomfortable on my chest. But enough about me moaning. I still had a grand old time.
What we drinking, boys?
I've just finished a lovely mug of Yorkshire tea.
Nice.
Oh, the best.
Only
Not
a
had a
bit.
tea in a long time because the
I've
heat.
got
It's not for it.
some of the Irish tea. Guinness.
Well, I'm glad you asked, boys, because I've missed certain things in my life, and I know we went on holiday quite recently, Liam, and we
Yep.
had similar drinks, but I thought I'll just make my fucking own drink of
Huh?
what I want. So I got some Fanta Limon,
Nice.
and this happened after I purchased the alcohol, so it's not really the best beer. But I've also got Stella in too large a can for what I'm actually trying to make. I made my own little wrapper. I say little, it's a fucking pint of the stuff. But
Nice.
it's fucking delish.
Very good.
Delish, baby.
Good thinking, that, to be fair, mate.
Yeah.
Does it actually
Very
taste like a
nice.
Radler, or does it taste like...
No,
Beer
it
and
actually tastes like a
crack.
Radler.
Well, decent. I'll be doing that in the future. Thank you.
You need to do it.
I had a good cocktail on holiday. I'm gonna tell you both about it.
Go on.
I didn't fucking ask, did I?
It was named after the bar we were in, which I think is called Wally High. Stupid name. Shout out if you're listening. The cocktails are named after that. And it is, I guess, supposed to be a kind of tropical kind of taste. So the mixer in it is orange juice. So you can already feel the vibe of where we are. We're on holiday. We're having a good time. And it had in it rum. Now I don't know what kind of rum, but I reckon spice rum would work out all right. You couldn't taste it too much. It had fucking amaretto,
This is a solid start.
and it had Malibu,
Lost me a bit there.
and it also had grenadine as well with the orange juice, and it was absolutely delicious. Absolutely delicious.
Could
It
you
was all
taste the
flavours of
coconut?
The Caribbean. Yeah, just
Ah,
the right
nah, I'm
amount
out.
works nice with the orange. You know, like Malibu.
No, I don't like coconut because
Malibu,
I'm not a
Coke's
14-year-old girl.
great. Seems very specific, that Callum.
Yeah.
I just meant
Have you been
Malibu
giving
about
14-year-old
being-
girls Malibu, have you?
No, it just takes me back to being a 14-year-old girl
Malibu's
in
great.
year 10.
We missed that, Callum.
Anything else, boys? To be honest, I'm
Anything else?
at a loss.
I
There
feel
is
like there was something else.
absolutely nothing else. So, you want to shut up? Fucking dickheads on fucking
Fuck, who's that god?
motorbikes outside. You prick. I've got to pose a question to you boys. I think you know what's coming. Oh,
Yes, I will. Oh, okay.
Sandy baby, unfortunately, has passed away. Don't laugh, Liam. It's not a funny matter.
Yanni, come on.
I'm laughing at how badly. What were you singing? I don't know what that was supposed to be. Sandy baby.
Yeah.
I think we should do this in a way that Olivia Newton-John deserves.
All right. I'll go
And
get me leather
let's get
pants.
physical.
We're gonna get physical.
Oh, dear.
Should we scrap all of this?
No,
Start
Olivia
again?
Newton-John. Sadly, how it was 73? Is that right?
I love how it
Yes,
always
bang
comes
on.
down to
Dope.
you to announce these things, Liam.
Sadly passed away. I'm not actually sure the reason. I
Oh,
don't think I
she's-
caught.
She had breast cancer 3 times in her life, and I think
Fucking
that
hell.
was the reason. I think.
But
Don't quote me on it.
do you know what?
Callum Davis,
Maybe
quoted
this
here.
is a little bit, off color. Gorgeous woman.
Oh,
Even
Liam.
later years.
she was.
Fucking hell.
What a lovely
Stunning.
looking woman. And, great set of lungs on her as well. I hate that phrase.
Jesus
I don't know.
Christ.
There's something so seedy about that phrase, and I don't know why. But
I
And you've
hope-
used it anyway.
I hope you both feel disgusted with yourselves for the shit that I got when I suggested Hopelessly Devoted for You in our Valentine's special.
It's a shit song.
It's not.
Yeah.
No, sorry, Carl. She's a great singer, though, but that's a bad song. But she sang some other good songs in Greece. She was in Greece, if anyone didn't know that. If you didn't, I don't know what planet you've been living on.
I didn't know until
Um,
recently that she was British.
Fuck off.
She's
I
Australian,
didn't
isn't
know.
she?
She's British, but moved to Australia, I think, or maybe vice versa. But she's British
They
Australian.
all did, mate. They all did. But yeah, sad news. We'll never get a Grease-free reunion.
No.
That was going to happen. But yeah, I love Grease. Grease is one of my
Grease
favourite films
is
of
the
all time. and
word.
It feels like sad. We did Grease in primary school. I'll play.
I wondered if you'd
production.
bring this up.
I have to.
Oh.
I did sing Sandy on the main stage at the pavilion in Rill.
How far down the barrel were they scraping when you got cast?
I was pretty cool in primary school. As you know, Carl, we did know each other back then.
Oh,
Yeah, you
true,
did. Yeah.
true. I missed my audition that
Cool
day,
back.
which is why Liam got the gig.
But yeah,
I managed to
I
get it to
sang-
Sandy.
Sang my heart out for that woman. Thought about it the whole time.
But yes, we're very sad to hear about this news. Rest in peace, Olivia Newton-John.
Yeah, moving on to more happier things. The return of the very cold chimpanzees are back.
Chili.
Chili
Nippy.
chimps.
Chili chips.
Arctic monkeys, of course, made, well, as of the time of we're recording, which for you listening will be yesterday, hopefully, if the editing goes well.
It will be.
They've come back. Their first gig in 3 years?
Wow, that long.
I
Don't
don't
know.
know. I'm going to say, I feel like I saw 3 years somewhere. So I'm going to go with that. No new songs. But to be honest with you, their first gig was in Istanbul, and I feel like it would be weird to debut new songs there.
Mm-hmm. I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
I think
So-
it's going to come within either an American or a European tour.
They are
I've not-
playing Red and Leeds, aren't they?
Yeah, end of
Yeah.
this month. I think that they've got to release something new before Ren and Leeds, surely.
Hey,
They don't need
Don't
to.
call me
though.
Shirley.
They really don't need to. You'd think so. I mean, I'd love to. Hopefully, some of it's been recorded from tonight.
It
or
was live
it
streamed.
today? Because I'm interested to hear, if they're still sticking with their Tranquility Base style of playing the old songs and stuff like that.
Well, talking of old
oh.
songs, they've played
Mm.
Potion Approaching for the first time
Shield
since
your eyes.
2011.
Wow.
time.
There seems to be quite a lot of the heavier songs in this set list from their discography. Brian
Interesting.
Storm obviously is a mainstay. Potion Approaching, Library Pictures, which seems like a bit of a weird one. So maybe that could offer insight into the direction they're going. I think it's going to be a bit more like Baroque pop, like a bit more grander this time, like Tranquility Base with just a bit louder.
Are they going for Queen? Is what you're saying?
Yeah, but not shit.
Operatic rock.
Not
Well, Queen
shit.
aren't shit.
Oh,
so...
shut up, Callum. Grow up.
Never liked Queen.
Fucking idiot.
Sorry.
Have you not seen Bohemian Rhapsody?
I have, and I hated
Rami
it.
Malek.
I thought it
Genius.
was awful. Thought it was awful.
The fact he came up with all those songs, unbelievable.
But yeah, they've dropped 4 out of 5, which I'm not a fan of. I am a fan of the song.
Yeah,
I'm not a
seems
fan
strange,
of
that.
the fact that they've dropped it. When they're still playing 1 Point Perspective, I find that weird.
How many of the Tranquility Base songs are on there? I haven't got it up.
Tranquility Base, 1 Point Perspective. That's it.
Yeah, it's
2.
weird that it's almost as if
Christ.
they're not. They're going to be changing styles, maybe
Oh, that's
Going-
unlike Arctic Monkeys, isn't it?
back. But the fact that they're completely, just 2 songs off that last album must mean they're taking a bit of a detour from that style.
Well,
Potentially.
hopefully we don't have to wait
Um,
too long to find out.
Yeah, one would hope. And that's. I mean, there's been other things. Let's be honest. There's probably been more news than other
Things
than
happen.
that,
Every day.
but we don't care.
No.
Clearly,
Why would we?
never have really. So we're gonna move on. To arguably the best section of the whole podcast. Arguably. But if you don't think it is, you're wrong. It's hot off the press. Ain't no party like a block party. You have to
Damn.
put a in because it doesn't fit syllable wise.
Body like black body.
Exactly. With the song 3 New Tunes. Oh, that's not the name of the song. Oh, how silly I am. How
Cheeky.
silly am I? Oh, God. In fact, I don't have the name of the individual songs, which is fun.
Acting Out is the first one.
The Robot
Acting
and
Out
the
is the fun-
Psychonaut
is- Oh, God. That sounds like
is
a
the second one.
Flight of the
And
Conchords tune, if I
It
move
does, yeah. And
Um,
Strat. as well.
Strut. The only one worth talking about, in my opinion, is Acting Out, which I enjoyed. It got stuck in my head, so must have liked it in a good way.
Yep. I liked the vibe of this one. Kelly is keeping the same vocal style from the album, which is a silly point to make in retrospect because they are offcuts from the album. The Robot and the Psychonaut sounds like it's from the album 4 of Block Party. I thought it was decent. Strut was the worst of the lot, bit too repetitive, but it was still all right. In my opinion, I don't think any of them would have necessarily made the album weaker, but I understand why they were cut.
What am I going to say here? What was, you've both frozen, so feel a bit lost
We're
out.
here.
Still here.
Don't worry, Chuck.
I very much enjoy Acting Out. Yeah, I very much enjoy that song. I'm shocked
know
that
you
was
do.
cut from the album, to be honest. I haven't listened back to the album, but I feel like that is better than most of the album. I didn't think it was about that when we talked about this.
Very good
I actually also enjoy. I enjoy Strut. I do kind of agree about the repetitiveness, but I think it's a pretty solid song, and the Robot and the Psychonaut doesn't. It's all right, fine. I think these are pretty all right.
Pretty all right.
Pretty all right. Fine.
alright.
That's a splendid review there. Alex, my G, has brought out another song. I didn't realise that this was that we've been away for so long until
Yeah.
I saw this song again. This song is called Cross the Sea. This is very weird. I've just put Lil Nas G as my little comment because I'm getting like Montero vibes, just general Lil Nas X vibes from this. I don't think I like this. I think it's over the edge of the weird style for me that sometimes he can slip into.
My notes start with musically, I quite like the vibe. Not a fan of the vocals, but the vibe is worth it. And then my second entry was ignore that, I don't like it. So good.
Yeah, it's definitely a weird one, and yeah, vocally it's very Lil Nas X. I completely agree with you, Yanni. I kind of
Thanks, son.
I kind of like it. I think I can imagine within the context of the album, it's going to be all right. But at the same time, I can't remember now because, as I said, Yanni, the song came out about 6 months ago. But I think it's before or after. Is it Blessing? Which when I first listened to it, because it kind of goes a bit weird towards the end, I thought made a lot of sense. But they don't actually go into each other at all, which I think is very strange.
Oh.
It's actually quite an abrupt, and I'm pretty sure it's Cross the Sea and then Blessing, and it actually is quite abrupt of an end at the end of Cross the Sea, which doesn't feel like a good use of time, space, energy, love, creativity, warmth.
Nice.
All the words.
Moving on, I didn't see this one when I was going through the track, so just had to have a cheeky little listen there. It's Dry Cleaning with the song Anna Calls from the Arctic. This, going off the track list, which you'd have to really if you were trying to find this accurately, is the first song off the album, with the horrific album artwork.
Yeah.
Makes me sick every time
Don't
I see
think
it.
about it.
And upon my very, very brief listen, sounds like it's a great opener to the album. Whatever that may entail, who knows? But it sounds like a very much like an opening song.
Mhm.
And I quite like it. All the sounds are pretty.
Sounds are pretty. And I think this is the most I've gelled with the Dry Cleaning Sprechen Sie Deutsch, as Yanni so eloquently calls it. I thought the vocals were
sang, actually.
they were
Wow.
delivered
Get
in a
you,
very
Yanni.
confident
Pulled
and
out of my
funny
arse, didn't I?
way. And I'm a big fan of this track. It's very good. Probably my favourite Dry Cleaning one, if I'm honest.
Do you know what, Colin? I think it's one of my favourite Dry Cleaning tracks. I think it's got it all. I think it's a very well refined song from the band. Distilled with all the sounds. It's full of juice. It's juicy, baby. And thank you, Yanni, for that fact about being the first song, because I agree. I think it's a good opener. It's got the right kind of tone and mood to open an album.
Well, you're very welcome,
I
to be honest with you, mate.
I'm very thankful.
I hate the album artwork. I know we've discussed it previously, but every time
Just then, in
every
fact.
time I
Just
see
then.
it.
We did bring it up.
Did we?
I don't want to think
Yeah.
about it again though. So completely.
Thanks for listening.
I said this
Oh wow,
before,
I
stop
completely
talking
missed
about
that.
Yeah, it's obvious now.
Oh.
Moving on.
When
Blonde
you know, you know.
Shell, if you know, with the song Kiss City.
That's the neighbouring
This
city to
is-
the Vaccines' great album, Love City, that they are back in.
No.
Never gone back.
Um,
Never.
One of those songs came on Radio X when I started my car up the other day, and I couldn't have acted faster to try and get that off.
See, I had the same situation, but I actually listened to it and I thought it was right. I can't remember which song it was. So
Still not worth a £5 on the banquet sale, though,
No.
is it?
No,
Um,
definitely not. Unless
no.
it's free. Unless it pays me, in fact, it's not worth it.
yeah.
Blonde Shell, Kiss City. I think that's the name of the song. This is the second song I believe this artist has released that we've covered.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, this doesn't quite do it for me. I don't know what it is, but there's just something about it that just isn't quite there.
Yeah, I was incredibly bored until it kind of kicked in towards the end, and the vocals kind of, knocked me for 6 a bit. I thought that should have definitely been something that happened more, because that was very good, but the rest of it was a bit mid, bro.
No cap.
Kiss City, more like Piss City. Am I right?
Yeah.
No, that was too harsh. I agree with both of you. I'm still intrigued in Blonde Shell, and I'm interested in hearing more. But I don't know if this song really hit me truly where it matters.
Where does it matter, Liam? Out of interest.
Definitely not with the next fucking song. Jesus on the wall.
Yeah.
Jesus on the wall.
Build the wall, knock the wall
Jesus
down.
on the wall.
Hate walls.
Yes, Kasabian unfortunately have another song that we're unfortunately covering. It's called The Wall. My notes is this is not something this band should be making.
No.
Or any band, really, because
It's
it's
just bad.
shit. But especially Kasabian.
Yeah. I just put, blimey, I'm bored of this. Ugh. Um, and yeah, it's bad.
Super bad.
I had this in my earphones when I was putting the washing on the line. And in the sun, glorious sun, a task that I quite enjoy doing.
I
Very
like doing
weird,
that.
I
I
know.
like doing the
Yeah,
washing.
I enjoy it. I'm very efficient. I know my process. I quite like it. But I hated my life while doing it because this song was playing. I thought, I'm miserable. I'm a miserable man right now. I want to find a wall and jump off it. So thanks for that, Kasabian.
Did any of your misery carry on with this next track? Because mine most certainly did.
I bet yours did.
Yeah.
Well, I would before we say anything. I just want to butt in basically. This was a Liam edition, I imagine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this track is
go on.
Planes, featuring some artists I can't be asked reading off. And the track is Problem With It. And oh yes, I had a problem with it. I can't explain how much I hate music like this.
Well, I mean, my notes are, and I can't do it to the extent that I want to, but yeehaw! Insert the little cowboy emoji that Liam often likes to use.
Yeah, I love that
but,
guy.
Yeah, that is my comment, and then Liam's choice, no doubt, next to it. I didn't hate this. I thought production was great on it.
It's an all right
It was
song.
a solid tune.
I just hate
but
it.
I'm just, I wasn't really. It's not something that I'd personally go back to, but it was a decent song.
Well, as the resident cowboy, I did enjoy this song. I put this on because Planes is Waxahachie and Jess Williamson. I've listened to Waxahachie before. She's actually, I believe, in a relationship with the good man Kevin Morby.
That explains a hell of a lot.
There we go.
They done a couple of songs together, which I love.
I want to top myself.
But I think her voice is great, and that's why I kind of wanted to listen to it. And I think her voice is great in this as well. And I think they sound good together, and I like it.
So the answer is Liam does not have a problem with it. Well, speaking of songs that I have a problem with, Sports Team are up next with the song "The Drop." I'm bored of Sports Team.
I think the hook in this song is an absolute dead ringer for Dog Stay Down by Opus Kink. It is, in my mind, identical. And I didn't go and listen to Dog Stay Down after it. I think it's because it's a bit synthy and there's like a "oh" in it. And yeah, I wasn't really mad on the track. It's good. I like it. But yeah, I don't really care.
I had to go back and listen to Cool It Kid to remind myself that actually they can still make a good song.
It's a fucking great song, that.
Yeah.
I believe this is the first song of theirs to feature. Was it saxophone? I actually can't remember from the song hearing the saxophone, but I'm sure I saw some tweet about it.
There's definitely a brass.
Maybe that's where I'm getting the
There was a
Opus
brass.
Kink vibe.
We all love a brass.
Maybe.
The backing vocals through the verses remind me a bit of Metronomy. Keep that in mind if you listen to it again. And I think overall, in
Tell me
terms
what
of
to
the song, it reminds me slightly of the band Sorry.
Who?
No need to apologise, mate.
Formerly known as Fish, and I think maybe that's just from working with Asher Lorenz. That's kind of rubbed off onto them a little bit. But I quite like this song.
You don't want to be rubbed off by a fish.
Well, we all have our vices. But I think I quite like this song, to be honest with you. I like the sound they're going for. I think it's interesting, and I hope they kind of play it off with the rest of the album.
Yeah.
I just feel like they've found a comfort zone.
Oh yeah.
And it's not doing it for me. Like all their other songs before the release of Deep Down Happy. I didn't get the name right this time, didn't I? There was, obviously there was like experimentation because they were new and still trying to work out their sound. But the songs were just more interesting. There was more to it. There wasn't just they had a sound, but they were able to push the boundaries of it a bit more by bringing in different types of things, but every song apart from Cool It Kids on this album so far, to me, I feel like has just been the same song.
I think the problem for me is it's the actual like the song itself isn't interesting, if that makes sense. I think musically I actually quite like where they're going, and I do think it's slightly different to the last album. It still seems so cohesive on this album, but the song itself, like the structure and kind of what's being said, just doesn't seem as engaging or anything at all. I just don't. Doesn't feel like there's much heart behind the actual songs.
Yeah,
but they're getting better at playing at the same time.
Yeah. Well, you find that with bigger artists, don't you? Like once they get good at what they're doing, normally the songs tend to veer off because they just get comfortable. I'm just going to make an apology to Dom because obviously he loves Sports Team. He also loves the next band we're about to cover, who I'm going to shit on. That is the 1975 with the song Happiness. Funnily enough, an emotion I didn't feel while listening to this track. We thought from the last track they released, wow, this is going to change things up. This is going to be a solid 1975 album for a change. No.
No. Well, I don't think you should write it off just yet. Hopefully,
I have.
Hopefully, this is the only one of this style on the record. It's clear why they will have chosen it as a single because it is very familiar.
It's their song. It's the 1975 song.
It's purely the 1975.
They've released about 18 times.
Yeah, fair.
Bring it out.
I thought it was quite catchy, but it's offering nothing in the way of surprise. I liked the bit where he said my over and over. That was quite good. Like a little post chorus, I think. That was quite catchy.
Delilah.
Yeah.
I've actually been extremely harsh. I put this song is lifeless. River Island / Top Shop music.
Wow.
Brutal.
It is a shame because we really liked Part of the Band. That is such a good song.
Yeah, I kind of enjoyed this song. I think I don't hate it. I really don't hate it.
Don't be a little bitch there.
I think it's fine, but I completely acknowledge it. It's the same song they've written, but I just think it's the best version of it. I don't know. Actually, I think that you can still hear this kind of same sound as the Part of the Band in a way, and I quite like what they're going for there. But I don't need an album of this. I need an album of Part of the Band.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Agree.
Next up, it is Himalayas with the song Alone. This was I don't really give a shit. This was typical sounding stuff. Didn't excite me in the slightest. A little bit Queens of the Stone Age, but just the production mixing wasn't at that level, obviously, because they're nowhere near as well in a band. But the kind of guitar tones were vaguely similar. But yeah, just nothing new or interesting for me in this track.
I agree. I thought it was decent enough, but I probably won't ever go back to it.
Fine.
Okay.
That's my review.
Her. You can pick which one is which. I've just put unblock my man's nose.
Someone get this amount of tissue.
Yeah. And then meh after it.
Yeah, I agree. It sounds more like their earlier stuff, which I am quite a big fan
Obsessive.
of. I wouldn't say obsessed. I like.
Sounds like it.
But it's better than anything that was on the album because that album was shit.
Back in Ball City.
Exactly.
Well,
Liam, this is your cue.
Word for this one. Yeah, I'm speaking. Pleasant is my one word for this song. Pleasant.
I'm loving these one word reviews.
A-N-T.
No. You have to ruin it by talking, don't you, Liam? Joyeria.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, it's better than Dire. With the song Colour Film. Pavement fans much? Question mark?
You think?
The vocals took some adjusting to, but I enjoyed the music. There was also another track from this album that this is featured on, which I think I enjoyed more upon listening to it, but we're not covering that song, so who gives a shit? But yeah, I think this was all right. Just I had to adjust myself to the vocals. That was all.
I thought this was more than all right. I really liked this. It was one hell of a way to start a song. Just a very aggressive scream. Got me hooked straight away. Yeah, good big banger. I liked the vocal delivery because, as we all know, I am evolving as a human after listening to Pavement. That will become apparent in the album spotlight. So I don't want to spoil anything, but just strap
You
in.
little tease.
It was and is a banger.
Callum, listen to Crooked Rain, please,
Um,
as soon as possible,
Okay.
Yeah, please do that.
because this song is. Actually, there are parts that sound very familiar to me. I'm pretty sure it's Silent Kid that I'm thinking of. Silence Kit, is it on the album? I don't know what it's called. But yeah, I enjoyed this as well. I do think the vocals are a little bit. I'm pretty sure it's called. Sorry, Yanni. I think it's called Silence Kit. And I was just saying Silence Kid. I don't know, one way or the other. Yeah, the vocals take a little bit to get used to. And as I say, some of it is very familiar to the point of like I was thinking, are they actually ripping Pavement off here?
Just ripping it off, yeah.
Maybe.
But there are enough differences obviously in the song that it's interesting, and I'm looking forward to more. You know, can't say no to more Pavement in your life.
I wouldn't say there was enough difference. It's just that we haven't had new actual new. I know we've had new in the sense of we've had unreleased tracks we've never heard before, but we haven't had actual new Pavement to the point where I didn't really care that this was kind of like a rip-off, because I felt like
Just nice to have
I
more.
like Pavement, and then, I'd be happy to listen to more stuff that sounds like Pavement if it's done well, and this was done well.
Agreed.
Egregious. Knowledge,
Strength.
Oh,
sorry.
and integrity.
Integrity.
Out of the three of us, which one's which?
I'm all free.
I'm definitely not strength.
I'm gonna have to just take strength on now because I feel like I don't know if that's. Callum, are you strong? I don't think so.
Not really. I'll take integrity because Yanni said some very questionable things.
Yanni,
that leaves me with knowledge, and that doesn't sit well with me.
Yanni,
but I'll take it.
You could be Tom Grennan.
I'll be feet. I'll just be the feet part.
Yeah.
KSI feat Tom Grennan. The song is not over yet, but fuck me, I wish it was. But he's pulled it off. Yeah, a little bit chase status when it drops. Don't know if you caught that, boys.
I
You
did.
see what I'm talking to now?
I did catch that.
You.
Who's
but
chasing status on
undeniably
the
shit. Undeniably shit. I just want to make sure you heard that. Although, and I'm going to get this in quickly before he says anything, Cal is going to say that he likes this.
Cal is not going to say that he likes it.
Oh wow!
It's decent enough, but it's
There you go.
not
That's
for
what I was
me.
That's what I was saying.
I actually think KSI is significantly better than Tom Grennan on this track.
I hate Tom Grennan's style of singing.
Yeah, it's horrible,
Yeah.
isn't
I
it?
hate it so
It's
much.
really annoying.
Reminds me of Youngblood.
Yeah.
The,
It's all this
the
cursive shite that I've recently learned is a thing.
cursive.
Cursive.
At
Yeah,
first,
when you pronounce words as if they were in cursive.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Halsey was the first
Yeah,
one that I
exactly.
think everyone started talking about cursive. Singing, he's very
Yeah.
cursive. There's the guitar part in this. Fuck off! Right, someone needs to develop a new pop one, and they can all redo it so it's fucking blue in the arse, whatever the phrase is.
Blue in the arse.
Blue in the bass.
I don't think you've ever want to be blue in the arse, mate. Christ.
But that bumper down,
Well,
bumper down, that fucking hell. Learn something new.
I think
That's what I
KSI's used that numerous times. Never mind just the pop genre.
Yeah. I think you're absolutely right. Talk about integrity, eh?
knowledge
Boy, oh
and
boy.
strength. The Killers. Boy. Was that a link you were trying to make?
Thanks, Yanni. Yep, thank you.
There we go, he's done it. The song is called Boy. I know we don't normally talk about this. Well, I mean, we have done, so I'll just shut up. I like the artwork for this very much.
What a solid
very-
tash.
Yeah,
It's exactly, yeah.
it's great.
It's very reminiscent of the U2 album, War, I think it's called.
Shut up.
But I love it because what a handsome man he is.
He really
and
is.
that tash is phenomenal.
You could
Very
lose
good.
a piece of mac and cheese in that tash.
I'd love to go rummaging in that for a piece of mac and cheese. The songs, we'll talk about that. I don't think this song works very well.
It's so
Sorry
weird.
to go
So
rapidly
weird.
downhill. The instruments just aren't working to it. I've never heard a song where the instruments sound like they never want to be with each other, as much as I have in this tune. I don't know what it is, but I just, do you know what I mean? Am I mad for saying that?
I'll let Liam go first.
Well, I think it's fair to say the Killers have boarded the Vengabus. And that's all I care about. No, yeah, it's weird. It doesn't. I just cannot get my head around it. I enjoy listening to it
doesn't fit, does it?
in like a sadistic way. Like I'm
It's like
punishing
listening to
myself. for listening
Revolution 9 or something. Like,
Yeah,
it just,
it's really
I'm
weird,
feeling uneasy.
but I love it at the same time.
No, I didn't like
I
it.
know. I mean, I love their last album, and this is very different. Very, very different. I'm sure some people will be happy about that. But it's just like a mash of all their other albums together, and then they go into Ibiza. I don't know, weird, but fine.
I enjoyed it too. I thought the arpeggiated
Arpeggiator.
was infectious, and that caused me to like the song quite a lot. Talking of songs I like quite a lot, I am in my personal trainer phase. Not literally, but in terms of the band. They've released a new track called The Laser, and I bloody love it. The more I hear from Personal Trainer, the more I enjoy myself. I thought the chorus was great. I liked the verse, vocal delivery. Everything about it is good.
Liam.
I don't know if you guys know this. I only realised this when I listened to it, but they actually released this song before. This was the first single they ever released, I think.
Oh,
But it's been re-recorded. So I listened to this for a second and realised what it was, and then just stopped it, put the old one on, and then put this one straight on afterwards. And it sounds better. I wouldn't say like it's very different to the original. It's just a lot heavier and like fuller, if that makes sense sounding.
it does
And,
make
Yes,
sense.
it does.
And it's still a banger, and I like the heaviness of it. I think it works really well. I think
Yeah.
it's a great song.
I thought this was a fun little tune, and I had the happy accident happen where this next song started playing. Seamless transition. Seamless.
Nice.
So, already a positive start to the album that is due to come. Next up, we have The Big Pink. Cal, how's your mum doing, by the way?
That has filled me with rage.
I can't cope.
Please don't put that in the teaser. Good God.
I can't go on. I can't go on.
And ladies and gentlemen, after 74 main show episodes, this is where we end the podcast while Yanni runs for his life.
Well done, Jan.
Yeah, the
all right.
big pink with rage. It's not bad, but my God, it's
Right.
boring.
Oh, mate, my exact word, bored.
I don't even know what to talk about anymore. I enjoyed the song. There's a nice bit of nostalgia to it. I don't know what it is. His vocals felt very nostalgic to me. And I quite enjoyed the song, but I agree it's a bit long-winded.
Yeah. Next up, Ezra Furman with the song Poor Girl, A Long Way from Heaven. I did not hate this. In fact, I would say that I enjoyed this.
Would you?
That is my review.
Brilliant. I liked the way the melody goes at the end of the lines in the verses. That was enjoyable. Does sound like most of her other stuff I've heard, but I still enjoyed it. I did really like the weird ending and thought that was a nice surprise, and enjoyed the kind of like
Yes.
phaser and chorus pedals throughout. That was fun.
I've only listened to this once, so I'm trying to remember what it is. But I remember. I feel like I'm constantly, because obviously I pre-ordered the album with Liquid Cash,
Oh.
and after a few of the
Risky.
singles, I felt a bit. But this one, and I think the last one, have drawn me back in a little bit more interested in it. It's very different to previous albums. I'm realizing, and we're not going to get much of the of any of the old Ezra stuff. But
Move past it, mate. Get over it.
yeah, no, I'm fine to acknowledge it's a new era, it's a new sound. It's all very cohesive so far, and I think as an album, it's going to be pretty solid.
By cohesive, you mean near identical.
Oh, scathing before it's even out. Christ. Hot take, more like hot chip.
Oh,
Like hot shit.
The
That's-
BBC Two boys are back.
Yeah. Freak out / release. Bit taken aback by the rockier elements. I've not listened to much Hot Chip, but was not expecting the sort of heavier guitar parts and stuff that came in. To be honest, this song just passed me by, really.
Yeah.
Which means it didn't stand out in any way, if I'm honest.
I
That's what that
agree.
means.
I don't think this warranted a late addition to our Notion page. I hated the
Go for it.
vocals. The music was pretty fun. Overall, not for me, which I can't imagine comes as any surprise.
It doesn't.
Integrity.
It doesn't. Very integral. I've just realised we missed another single that we probably should have covered.
Oh,
Doesn't matter.
Liam, shut up.
What was it? We might have all heard it.
The Murder Capital.
I've not heard
Nope, not heard
It's a band that I've seen around for so
I've heard
long,
of
never
them, but
listened
I've
to
not
any of
heard the
them.
song.
Yeah. And I was going to put it on, but I forgot to.
Wow.
Apparently there's a new Two Door Cinema Club song on it as well.
Oh, after
No,
that
no.
last one. After the last
No,
one.
Nope,
No.
not. Hot Chip
Refuse.
song. Weird. Just weird. Kind of like Jay-Z rocking GIF. Yeah. That's it. That's my that's my review.
Sound. We aren't going to cover it, but I don't know if you've listened to it. Liam, I can imagine you have, at least parts of it. But Beyonce released an album.
I haven't.
You've not listened to it at
I
all.
intend to. I've been on holiday, my friend. I've
Yeah,
watched
I know that.
TV.
Watch
Liam.
The Bear on
God's
Holiday. Come on.
sake. Beyonce released an album. I thought it was all right.
I've
to
heard
be
it's
honest.
good. Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, I'm not saying this. This was on Twitter. Made for the gays. So do with that as you please.
So it's
That's
solid.
what
Is
someone's
what I'm
saying.
taking from that. I bet it's very good.
I feel like it's constantly. I'm not constantly, but like it's Drag Race through and through.
Great.
Every single song I can
Well,
imagine.
we're
But
going to fight
good,
him.
but actually good. Because that
Yeah,
is
yeah.
a deadly combo.
No, it is good. I enjoyed it, and I didn't
Wow.
expect to. And I like all the transitions, by the way, seamless. Every song transitions to the next, and it's not like a cop out one. Like it's a very well done kind of thing. Tempo changes and all.
I saw
Um,
a video of Jessica Lynn covering "Break My Soul," and that did break my soul.
Oh,
I had to break my phone.
It
God.
upset me. But yeah, I will listen to the Beyonce album at some point. However, I didn't this week because I was too busy listening to the album that is ever so slightly in the distance.
Where?
It's
Where in the
it's
distance,
just
Cal?
under that light over there. I think they call it the album spotlight.
Cheekface. That
We've
is.
all got 'em.
What did you just call me?
I called you a little bitch. Cheekface is the name of the group.
Rude.
Too Much to Ask is the name of the album.
Great Arctic Monkeys B-side.
Indeed.
Solid.
Indeed. We're not covering Arctic Monkeys though. We're covering Cheekface, like I've said. We're going to go through it track by track. Should be relatively straightforward to do this because, we're professionals after all. The name of this first song is When Life Hands You Problems. Great chorus in this, I thought.
Yep.
Fantastic chorus.
Crazy Taxi vibes. Loved
Okay.
it. What an opener to an album.
I also love it when that when the chorus comes in and he starts like it reminded me instantly of the Cribs. That just the first like when he sings problems. Do you know what I
Actually,
mean?
yeah.
And I like that. I think it's a solid song. I think it's got solid lyrics. And I like the way the chorus is sang as well. I don't think there's anything from like the previous stuff that's that kind of like energetic. Which maybe carries on. I love it.
Maybe. Who knows? Moving on. We need a bigger dumpster. We covered this. Seems like ages ago.
It does feel like a long time ago. Yeah.
I really liked this when we covered it at the time. I'll tell you what, boys, I still fucking love it. Fantastic. Lyrical content, top tier. And I just love the melody of it. Another great chorus.
I was not mad on this when we covered it as a single, and I'm still not really mad on it now.
You bitch.
I think the lyrical content. Fuck off. The lyrical content. I've never once denied the lyrical content to Cheekface is brilliant. The song has grown on me a little bit, but still one of my least favorites on the record. Some of the melodic choices are just a bit too much to bear sometimes, which isn't a problem that carries on into the album. Just this song.
Well, I agree with you, Yanni, that I disagree with Callum because that's the right choice in this fight. I think this song is really good. Really enjoy listening to it, and I really love after like the first "Everything is fine, everything is fine" when that guitar comes in, that kind of like odd rhythm guitar.
Yeah.
I love that. I think that just sounds so
He loves
so
it.
satisfying to listen to.
Satisfaction achieved.
Satisfaction. Yeah.
Next up, we have Pledge Drive. I believe this is another single we covered.
Yep.
I believe that because the problems I had with it when we covered it still ring true, unfortunately, about the lines not quite fitting and him having to rush them in still annoys me. However, if I'm going to be nice, which I will be, the music sounds great.
The music does sound great. The bass is fantastic. The backing vocals were a lovely addition. Another great chorus. Another great tune.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with the positive side. I think the music's great. The bass and stuff is really good. I actually think for me this is one of the weaker songs on this album, which says a lot. But yeah, I just think there's not much of a hook to this one that really keeps me. There's no good single on chorus or whatever that a lot of them have. But yeah, really love the sound of the bass and the backing vocals and stuff like that. Really good in this one.
Speaking of bass, the next song, I Feel So Weird! ! Lovely bass line. Lovely. It also has like a sort of key change with the bass in the verse, which is nice. Yes. Good song. Solid song.
Very solid song. Two of my favorite lines from this album are home in this song. One of them is the difference between me and a dog is that I'm taller. Yep. Fantastic line. And it's the 10-year anniversary from everything 10 years ago. Fantastic. Just two brilliant lines.
Right. Callum,
unreal.
Exactly the same. I had exactly the same thing in my mind.
Fantastic.
Especially the thing about being taller than dogs is just wonderful.
Absolutely
just inspired songwriting.
Correct. And I also like the venture into more actual singing in this track. It was a nice change.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with everyone. I also love the key change with the bass in the verses. That really made my peaked my peaky perk, and peaked my perk, and I just love that he's just started shouting stuff. I think that's really made the difference. Just start shouting. Don't bother speaking. Don't bother singing. Shout stuff.
If your heart's beating, shout.
Shout.
Let it all out.
Love
it. Next up, we have featured singer. I thought this one was a little bit too repetitive. But the elements of the track I enjoyed. I just heard too much of those elements.
Yeah, I think this is probably. Sorry if the listeners heard a bang on my microphone then. I think this is one of the best structured songs on the record. It's not one of my favourites, but I think the structure is very good. It is a big tune. The bass is great again. Vibes.
Yeah, I really like this one. I get the whole. I can get. Sorry, what was your point again, Yanni? I wanted to be accurate here on what you said.
I said it was too repetitive, but
Yep.
I enjoyed the individual musical elements that made up the repetitiveness.
Thank you so much for repeating all of it.
I didn't.
You know, per verbatim, whatever. I agree that it's repetitive and kind of does that for too long, but I think that's a clever play on the fact that he wants to be in an EDM song, and that works, and I like that.
Have we
'cause
covered
that's
this
what
before?
those songs like.
Yeah, this was
We
another
have said,
single.
I'm pretty sure I said this.
I feel like I feel like we've made these same
Yeah.
comments
Deja
before.
vu.
But yeah, I like it. I enjoy listening. I think the bass and the guitar are really good throughout. It keeps me bobbing.
Yeah. Next up, we have it just makes it as a song. Noodles. I say that it's 57 seconds long. After the last one, which I found too repetitive, this was a nail in the coffin for repetitiveness. However, it is only 57 seconds, so I don't know, kind of balances it out. Again, repetitive, but I like the parts that make it so. God damn it, Cheekface, you leave me torn. Call me Natalie.
This
No, call me
this
Natalie.
was the point in the album where I knew I have become a converted cheek facer. Because this time last year, I'd have wanted to turn this album off at this point. However, now, I loved this. How did I love a man shouting about wanting noodles for a minute and it adding to an album? It really made me want noodles, and I would still like some noodles right now.
A giant cup of noodles.
A giant cup of noodles. But yeah, this is my public apology to Cheekface for all of the nastiness I've said in the past. I am redeemed, reformed.
Beautiful. Very
Thank you.
strong parquet quartz vibes on this one,
Yeah,
even just for 57 seconds.
solid point well
And
made.
again, thank you so much. And again, just love that he starts shouting. I love it. He's got a great shout voice. He's got a
Loud
great voice.
noises.
But when he just starts shouting about the noodles, I agree. I get it, man. Do you know what I mean? It's powerful. That's an emotive message.
I mean,
I
who
want a
doesn't
giant
love
cup of noodles.
noodles? Let's be honest.
Fucking,
No one in their
Well-
right minds. Wait. Everyone in their right mind loves noodles. Moving on. Election Day. Feat. Sydney Hish. Don't know who Sydney Hish is. Liam, do you know who Sydney Hish is?
I don't.
Nope.
I don't know everyone, unfortunately.
You sure?
Most people.
Really think about it.
I know.
No.
No.
Okay.
No.
Unfortunately, I've had two songs that I thought were too repetitive, went on for too long. I know the other one was 57 seconds, but whatever. This song, I want more of it because this one is probably my favourite of the whole album. I bloody well love this one. I love
Yeah.
the laid back feel of it.
Well done, Yanni.
The male female vocals work together so fucking nicely. And praise, more praise, words of nice, kind things thrown your way.
Yanni, the world agrees. The world wants more. Don't disagree, Colin. We don't need to hear it. I can see you there.
I don't disagree. It was a welcome slower one, and I think with this style of song, or this style of band, a slower one could become awful, and it was not. It's not one of my favourite ones, but I did enjoy it. I will revisit though, and it might become a favourite, but as we stand, it's not.
Well, I wholeheartedly agree with the Ioannis in the group. Love this. Yeah, Sydney Gish's vocals, wonderful. Works so well together. The slower pace, wunderbar. Again, Parquet Quartz and slightly
Quartz.
Alex G vocalies going on in this, but all good. You okay, Cal? And the way they
let me laugh.
The way the chorus is sung about next year in Jerusalem, I just love the sound of it. It's so pleasing to my ear holes. My ear holes are pleased.
That's what we
Oh
want.
God.
Moving on, you always want to bomb the Middle East.
Hate it when that happens.
Tell me
How
about
you managed to sing this chorus without what seems like taking your breath is beyond me.
Yep.
But one thing I do want to throw out there into the world of the review space is the instrumental in this sounds like a Darwin D song.
Yeah. I listened to some Darwin D's the other day. He's so right. Yeah.
I don't know which one it is. I don't know Constellations or Radar Detector or whatever, but
It's
the only
quite
two
radar
songs I know.
detector.
But
That's the one I listened to the other.
I couldn't help but immediately think about it when I heard it. But yeah, all right, and yeah, it just blows my mind the fact that it sounds like it's all sung in one go. Although it probably isn't, but the way it is, it's very good.
I like to think it is.
The intricacies of this song passed me by, but I've wrote down fantastic stuff, so I must have enjoyed myself.
Yeah, I just enjoyed especially after the slower one. I think one thing about this album, it's structured very well.
Mm-hmm.
Very well. We didn't mention that really much about the Noodles one, but it's the perfect placement. It's smack bang in the middle of the album, an interlude, just a little refresher there, the cleaning of the palate,
Some noodles.
taste of noodles. And then yeah, this one again, this quicker one after the slow one is just great. I feel like this almost could be a Flight of the Conchords song.
Yeah.
And I really like how he sings, we could learn to read and write in Portuguese, and then someone's like, and then in the background, or Korean. I just like that. I like that. I'm a sucker for those little bits. And I want more little bits in my life. That's why I keep you around, Yanni. A little bit.
Nice. Moving on, Friends. Parquet Courts vibes with this one. A lot.
Yep.
Heavy Parquet Courts. Unfortunately, I'm saying that listening to it retrospectively because wait, that doesn't make any sense. But whatever. The song when I listened to it at the time, the first time around, passed me by. But upon further listens now, those are my comments. Have I lost you? I feel like I've lost myself.
No. I agree with you. I agree. I think I said before that I think Pledge Drive is the weakest song. I actually think this is the weakest song, to be honest. 'Cause I forgot about this song, and that's kind of speaks for itself. I still think it's a solid song. I didn't think one to skipping it. It's short enough. Doesn't make a massive difference. But it just doesn't have anything to really kind of like stand out about it.
Column.
Cool. I thought the chorus was very good. There was a guitar riff. I didn't pinpoint where it came in, which I thought was tip top. It was a good tune. Probably my least favorite on this. Well, maybe not, because Election Day didn't really resonate with me. But I enjoyed it, but it wasn't one of my standouts.
Moving on, next to me in brackets, Yo Guy version. This one, don't know what it was. Well, I mean, it was the guitars, but I don't know what about it in particular. It was so nostalgic for me. Like, I don't know if it was because of the chords, the melody that was used, but something about it, especially when that solo comes in, I just what's you got the music in you? That I don't know. It doesn't sound like that, but it's that kind of like nostalgic sort of spacey, dreamy-esque picture that came to mind when I heard it. Great riff at the start, on the guitar, and yeah, it was all right. I think there was enough to it to make me like it. But at this point, I was sort of fading out, and I think it was to do with the voice, which I will say overall, for my liking, is a bit too polished.
Wow.
I'm not sure if it really plays to your point before, Yanni, but this song in particular didn't make me think of it, but there's a few parts of this album where it reminded me of, like, Naughty's Weezer.
Okay.
I got Weezer
like
quite
Green
a lot throughout
Album,
this album.
kind of around there. Whenever I don't know when Green Album came out, to be honest with you, but
2000s, I think.
yeah, something like that. But yeah, I don't know if that kind of plays into a similar thing about the nostalgia to you.
It does. I'll allow it.
Thank you so much for allowing it. But yeah, this song actually, my thought was this could fit on like a Tony Hawk soundtrack.
Again, that might be where the nostalgia comes from then. Yeah.
Again, but I enjoy this one. I like it better when you stand next to me. That chorus hook, just sounds nice in my ears, and also a little voice going "Shut the fuck up, Pretty good.
Yeah, that
Really
was great. That part, incredibly funny. This was one of my favourites on the second half of the album. I thought the vocals were just extremely well done. Yeah, who would have thunk it? Eh, me praising
Hey,
Cheekface
mate.
vocals.
Next up is the last song, Vegan Water. Great name for a song.
Fucking vegans are gatekeeping everything, aren't they? They've even got water now.
Bastards.
I'm glad this album is now over because I think I've reached my point of enough of this sound that's going on. Solid's last track. I don't know necessarily if any of these. Oh, maybe Election Day might have been a good closer. Maybe I don't know. I feel like none of these songs worked well as closers. It's kind of weird, but
Yeah. How does Cheekface end an album?
exactly.
I think this works well. I think that the
It's like a
twinkly
joke.
sound, the kind of twinkly synth sound with like, I think it ends almost with the female vocals, and I think that's a kind of a nice way to actually end the album. But I definitely get what you mean.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you both. I really liked it as a closer, but I like all these songs, which again I'm just so surprised about.
Can't believe it.
I think
What a treat.
we're surprised also, to be honest.
Does that leave us with ratings?
It does leave us with the rating
See?
part.
I'll go first because I always do. I am giving this an 8.
Solid. Liam.
I worry that you forced my hand here, Callum.
Well, do your
I don't know if I'm
rating.
I don't know if I'm about to do the
Sheep.
I was on. Ratings. It's all very subjective, isn't it? It's at the time
it is
of
your rating, so yes, it is
discussion.
subjective.
But I can't really think of any issues with this album. Really, it's a matter of taste is the main thing. However, if it's your taste, no, it's not that. They'll get too excited. I'm gonna give it a 9.
Fucking hell.
Just because there's a few moments that aren't quite as good as the others, but I don't really think there's anything wrong with this album. I think it's very, very solid. Third album as well. Basically doing the same thing. How can a band that does the same thing over and over again have their third album be the best album? Because they're the best.
I think it's probably helped me and Cal that we've not listened to the other two in much
We've
detail.
listened to emphatically no. We did it on the podcast.
You can tell how much I paid attention to that, can't you? I'm going to give this a 7. Sorry.
Wow.
Stinker.
Yeah, there was just too many repetitive sort of moments and points where I thought, I wish this was coming to an end. But there were some high points, so that's why it's a 7. I don't need to justify myself.
Shut up, Yanni.
Liam, please give me the average. First of all, I want the average that is the mode, which isn't possible.
There isn't one. It's 8.
Yeah. Median.
It's 8.
Mean.
It's 8.
And the range.
2.
Which
2.
is a large
Wow,
one.
I've got 2. Wow. Big 2 for the
A
range
big
boys.
old 2.
Dos.
You get your ass out, boys. Happy days.
Indeed. That's it really. That's the podcast as a whole. I will say, because we didn't post about it, because without Liam, our social media presence is nil.
I couldn't be asked. It's too hot.
He can't be asked now. He's fallen asleep.
Sorry,
we did release a usual video.
I didn't even realise that.
Go watch
Sitting
it.
proudly on 5 views, probably.
Yeah, but I've been optimistic there. But go watch it. We've got some interesting vinyls, and Liam kindly names every single record shop that he purchased his records from for no reason. But if you're interested, follow that. Go there and watch the video. If you're watching this video, then do us a favour, give it a like, give it a cheeky little comment, whatever you want. Put literally anything that you fancy. Put in. We don't care as long as there's some engagement. We'll be happy. Ding our bells. Subscribe to us to see us on the reg because I think we've not got any more holidays planned, have we, boys? No more last minute retreats for a while.
No.
No.
Good grounded fools. That's what we want. If you're not watching the video and you can't just go to the link that's in the description, well, don't worry, because Instagram and Facebook, if you just search @Falls in the Hill podcast, that's where you'll find us. On Twitter, @Falls in the Hill pod. And if you think, I've listened to this in full now, but now he's given me the socials, I do want to go watch the video. If you type in Falls in the Hill podcast, then you can bloody rewatch the thing, can't you? Or just
Yeah.
leave
Or
it
you
in the background.
Yeah.
So, it boosts us in some way.
Or you could watch the under the needle video that we did just talk about.
Indeed that.
See.
Yanni
Oh.
will link that on the main episode video now. Top left.
It's going to be just on our
Top
channel.
right.
Just, go to our
Top-
channel. and
top
see it.
right.
Just no. Just
Top
no.
top right.
It's not happening. Stop it.
Top
Stop it.
right.
And on that note, or should I say, Yanni nota.
Oh, you've
Yay.
Oh, I'm proud.
Buenos nachos, amigos, and
Oh, I could do
por
some nachos.
favore.
Por favore.
Please.
Ciao.
Bella.
Ciao, Bella.
Adios.
Adios, amigos. Arriba. Oh, that sucks. I'll cut that
You've got to
out.
cut that out.
Ande.
No.
Okay, vamos.
Vamos.
Go the fuck out. Oh, that's Italian.
Goodbye.
Oh, bloody hell.